Welcome to episode 3 of Early Grounds. Today we talk to a good friend of mine, Will Montgomery. Will and I met around 13 years ago here on the Gold Coast. He's had his hand in different entrepreneurial ideas and journeys since then. He's currently settled into his existing business that he started around 7 years ago, GC Superior Tiling. He's in the construction, tradie, gig economy. So we learned from Will how he's going there. He's facing some challenges. Times are tough. He's learned a lot. He's got some advice for us. We learned some really good insights on what it's like jumping into that field of work and what his plans are for the future. So jump in. Let's listen to what he's got to say, and hopefully you'll learn something. Welcome again to Early Grounds. Will Montgomery, welcome to the podcast, mate. Welcome to Early Grounds.
Pleasure to be here, Dan.
Mate, it's been a while since we've caught up. We, I think you pointed out earlier, it's about 13 years.
Correct.
Time
I think so. Yeah, something like that. We've known each other.
When we met, we were actually working together. We were working together in a local caravan park here on the Gold Coast, getting our hands dirty in the gardening and maintenance departments.
Yep.
Both on interesting parts of our journey. You were an up and coming hands-on man, learning different trades and skills.
Yep.
I was on a decline, a dip in my journey, which will potentially manifest itself as a story on its own one day. But it was good. It was good. It was a good time in that respect in terms of bouncing back and digging deep. But since then, mate, you've tried a few different things, a few different ideas. I think I've always felt that you've had your own entrepreneurial mind and mindset, and you're always going to do something for yourself.
Yep.
I remember, and we can talk about it later if you want, but we talked about different ideas before your current one. You talked about clothes for tradies. Do you recall that?
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. I do.
Car washing things, cleaning cars underneath. You remember?
Yes. Four-wheel drives. Yes.
That's right. So you've always had different ideas. So now you are donkey deep in your own tiling business here on the Gold Coast, GC Superior Tiling.
Correct. Yeah.
That's your Instagram address.
Yep.
That's the handle for that. Please check it out. I had last night. I haven't looked for a while. You do some amazing work, mate. You do some beautiful.
Thanks very much.
Do you, in that business, do you focus primarily on luxury apartments, luxury buildings?
Yeah, correct.
It's and obvious because some beautiful locations that complement the beautiful work that you do.
Yeah, so makes the work life easy with the locations and the work as well. So
good. And you're teaming up. I notice you're quite active on social. You're teaming up with other contractors, other brands, and other tradies in the area. So have you got your own sort of group that you work with when there's a building being built? Obviously, you're focusing on the tiling part. Do you hook up with the same people in the same builds?
As in people that work for me?
As people that you work with, other trades. So for Spark, all the other trades that are involved in putting something together like that. Is it usually the same sort of crew, or are you on different jobs with different people all the time?
Depends what builder is. Different job. If it's a different builder, usually the builder will keep the same crews jumping, unless there's a whole heap of complications throughout the job, then they won't, use myself or use a Sparky or Chippy because they didn't like the way that they'd done some things. But usually every builder has his own set of Sparky, Chippies, tilers, renderers, plasterers, all that type of stuff.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Your crew yourself, so the crew you've got working with you for you now, so you've got 3 or 4 members on the team?
Yeah, 4 members on the team at the moment.
So I would imagine the building industry is a tough industry to be in. I imagine particularly on somewhere like the Gold Coast, it's a boom and bust sort of industry. You'd have a range of characters that you'd need to interact with. And just talking to you earlier, did you anticipate it would be like it is at the moment? Is it tough for you? How was it?
Extremely tough.
Extremely tough.
No one tells you this when you start a business, how, the journey that you go on to get to a certain point, and then it's just daily challenges,
How long has this one been going for? How long have you been running this business? When did you start? When did you lay your first tile under the brand of GC Tiling? Superior Tiling?
I started maybe, how long have I been tiling? I've been tiling 11 years. I started maybe 7 years ago, something like that, under GC, but it was a nothing back then, which I'll touch on later. There's obviously levels to the game, just as anything, and I thought I knew it all, and I was that arrogant young fella, go-getter, just thought I was the best. Didn't work for any builders, anything like that, just worked for clients, gave it a red-hot crack, lasted about 6 months.
Okay. So what? Tell me why that didn't work. So when you say you were doing it yourself, so you weren't working with any other builders, you weren't getting contracted by anyone else. You'd find independent and private jobs that needed doing, and it was just you.
Yep, just clients, and it was just myself. I knew how to tile a bathroom. I definitely didn't have the skill set that I learned later on with my previous boss. He really scrubbed up on everything with me. He did all high-end stuff here on the Gold Coast, still does. He works very good contracts, and yeah, can't say enough good things about him. In the place where he got me where I am today. And yeah, he's still doing his thing, killing it. But yeah, there is definitely levels to the game. It's not just about tiling the bath.
So as you started to develop that business and grow, you grew to a point where, that one ended in 6 months. So where did you go after that? When did you get back in?
After that, I went and worked for the bloke I was just talking about for 3.5 years.
Okay.
And then about 3 years ago, I kicked it off again.
Okay. And you had a different skill set, you had a different mindset.
Correct.
And you kicked it off again, just you, or did you go straight into having some crew with you?
Just myself.
Okay. And for how long?
2 years. And then the past 12 months, I've been through a good maybe 10 staff.
Okay. And so the entrepreneurial game of bringing on staff, because then that adds some different responsibilities that you hadn't had before, some different thoughts, some additional stresses.
Yep.
And more things you need to think about. How has that been for you from an emotional management point of view? How has that contributed to your thought process about the business in general? Has it been a good thing bringing people on? Has it helped the business?
In my eyes right now, some jobs it's helped, but just the time that I'm in my business now, this is the time where I'm putting everything I've got into my business at the moment, because I am expanding. I've got a team of 4, hopefully have a team of 7 in the next 2 months or so. This is the biggest risk that I personally have taken in business so far, and it will pay off. I have no doubt. I've got everything in place to be successful.
And so risk is in taking on the responsibility of people, bringing people on?
Yeah, that, and just risk of going broke.
Committing to the jobs.
Going broke, committing to the jobs, not fulfilling my contracts. There's so much to it.
And so you're feeling the stress of that because they're bigger jobs, and so the things that could go wrong are bigger and things that could go right are bigger. So how's that?
It's more just I've worked super hard the past 3.5 years to get to the point where I am now, and you can have staff members jeopardize that by not showing up, being sick. You know, everyone's an adult. They all live their own lives, but at the end of the day, it comes back to the business owner, which is myself, not the individual. So if someone's going to use someone, it comes back to GC Superior Tiling, not, his bloke called in sick and wasn't there for a week. I can't blame him because he works for me. So it's more just risks like that. You know, the outlays are a lot at the moment. And then, it will all work out.
Okay. So how do you know it will work out? How do you know it's going to, if there's people listening now that are questioning what they either want to get into or what they're doing at the moment, if they find themselves in a place where things are struggling and tough and potentially not as cruisy or as rewarding as they thought they'd be in the early parts of running a business, how do you know it's going to work out?
I guess just the same as, like, you know me personally, Dan, you know the mindset that I'm in, and the things I'm doing in my business are I feel a lot different to any other tiling business here on the Gold Coast. I'm not just tiling, putting down tiles. I'm making relationships with people. I'm collaborating with brands such as this. I'm sitting down doing this podcast with you. I'm collaborating with people from America coming up very soon, which is exciting. And I've just got the drive in me. I've been doing this. I have to do it to survive. I've got a young family at home, and it's just in my DNA to succeed. And, with a team, without a team.
So it's unknown, but you know it in your heart, you feel it in your gut.
There's no way I can fail.
There's no question it's going to work one way or the other. And in terms of fail, there is no failure as such. There's things that break, and then you either fix them or you move on to something else that's not going to break, and you learn from them. Yeah,
exactly right. And look, I've the finance side of things as well. I've obviously I've got a bookkeeper now and an accountant who work together.
And you did that yourself. You did all that stuff yourself at the start.
Yes.
And are you strong in that area? Or is that something that you enjoy doing? You find yourself, doing the accounts and understanding how that all works?
It's easy when you are the only man on your team. When you have 4 staff to pay for, and like we said before, $11,000 in wages a week for 4 different tilers plus yourself. It's too much to handle, and it becomes another level,
And does that take away, in terms of a learning and business management, does that take away from the stuff that you want to be doing and the stuff that you believe that you add value to in terms of the business? That's why you're contracting it out essentially to the bookkeepers and accountants.
It would just be too hard. Like, for the sake of a bookkeeper for $40 an hour, for what are they going to work for me 2 hours a week? To pay wages,
get it done well.
They'll get it done. Yeah. They'll reconcile all my books. I already pay and get my BAS and tax done. It's more just, I pay so much in insurances and work cover with my business. So why not just do this and do it properly? There's no point doing half a job.
Yeah.
We have that much outlay as tradies, work cover, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you have all sorts of insurances and things that, again, stuff that you didn't know going in and stuff you didn't appreciate. Right.
Yep.
So exactly it's a big learning curve, whatever you're getting into. Some things more regulated and more complex than others.
Yep.
But and particularly your field would be complex. There'd be regulations, there'd be limitations, there'd be licensing, there'd be all sorts of things that you've come across that you weren't that you didn't know about, so you weren't ready for them.
Yep, exactly right.
And so how do you get new work? What's your how do you get leads? How do you find work and add it to your funnel?
So I grow pretty regularly through my Instagram. Is pretty much my resume.
Okay.
I use it every day. Definitely post stories, consistent. I'm not sure what anyone else gets view-wise in a story, but I get about 350 per story.
Okay.
So in my eyes, that's quite a lot.
Yep.
Everyone's watching. I connect with new builders through Instagram. They'll ask me for my email, send through plans, or we've got this job. Can you send me your price list? That's the way I do things.
Okay.
Try and systemize it in the way of I just have a price list, usually send that to the builder that contacts me, or I'm already working for that builder, and it's just a reoccurring.
You got that relationship, and they know.
Relationship.
Yep.
Let's go to the next one. From Surface to Island of Capri, we've got the next big contract for you. Here's your PO. Let's go.
Do you so in terms of the local area, how far north and south do you go with your work?
At the moment, I'm going past Helensvale, which is where I'm based, and south, I pretty much don't go past Robina. I'm pretty snug in the northern.
Okay, so that's a relatively small area, but that's.
Yep. But we travel. I'll travel to Brisbane if I have to, and I'll go to the border at Tweed if I have.
Okay, so that's a 100K sort of radius.
Right.
Okay, and anything outside of that, particularly if you're going to Tweed, New South Wales, you've got different licensing issues and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so I no longer do anything in
south
New South
of the border. Yep. Okay, because of different regulations, there's licensing and stuff. Okay, it's too hard to manage right now.
Too hard to manage. Used to when I first started, and as you mature in business, as you'd know, things just aren't worth it anymore. And I don't need to go that far for work as well. I guess I have that
So
now.
you did the harder stuff. You did what you needed to do at the start.
Correct.
You've got yourself to a point where you can pick and choose a bit, so that you can be more productive in the jobs that you're doing. Yeah.
Yep.
Where at the start, you were willing to do things that whatever you need to do to get it done.
Anything, anywhere, driving to Byron from Helensvale.
Yeah. And for those listening that might not know the distance, that's a few hours drive.
Yeah, pretty much an hour and a half on a good day.
Yep.
For the same rate as what I would charge here on the Gold Coast. So it's not like I'm getting paid anymore.
Yeah.
I just did it because I wanted to do the job and wanted to get paid and needed the work. So it's quite nice now not needing any work, and I can just stay up here on the northern side of the Gold Coast.
Going back in your memory, do you remember as a young fella, teenager, early 20s, did you know that you were going to do your own thing? Did you get any influence from your parents or from other family members or people that you knew, relations or not, that led you to start thinking that you were going to do your own thing?
I did a fair bit of personal training coming up in school. I did my Cert 3 in PT. So I did get left on jobs coming up training in school by myself at it was an alcohol recovery centre in Currumbin, and I took over from a personal trainer there, and I was in grade 12 in high school, and I was getting left at an alcohol rehabilitation centre in Currumbin and personal training.
How old are you there? Are you 16, 17?
So yeah, 17. Yeah, 17-year-old personal trainer at school, getting paid when I was meant to be learning, but it was through school based.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool actually. So yeah, I've always had the drive to.
And so, do you think that early exposure to business and commerce and results in the real world of work that you were doing, you think that then contributed to you thinking that you were going to do your own thing rather than go into a fixed role?
It's always been in me in that aspect of things. I went from personal training to managing pubs for 4 years. I wasn't just a bartender, I was managing. So I was hardly even pouring beers.
Yeah.
It's just always been in me.
Yeah.
Always wanted to take the lead role.
Okay, great. In any of your businesses or any of your roles in the entrepreneur game, what's something that you've done that you feel personally has come from you inside that you've done really well, or you've made a decision or you've pivoted in a particular direction that you can look back and go, yeah, that was me, and I'm quite proud of that, and that's led to positive results. What's a win? What's a really good thing that you've done in that regard? The decision you might have made.
I honestly think it's just working for myself, making that decision.
Right.
My wife was pregnant with our first bub, and it gave me the kick up the bottom that I needed to take the risk and go and do it myself. And I think,
so taking the leap, making that jump, and just committing. That was the big one.
Being in the cooker is amazing, and 80% of people are too scared to make that leap. Okay. They're too comfortable working for someone else, weekly pays, this and that. When they don't know what it's like doing it yourself.
So, what's it like doing it for yourself?
It's also not what people think. Yeah. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
It's a whole heap of stress, okay. Especially in the spot I'm in at this point in time in my business, transitioning from being on the tools 7 days a week to getting off the tools, managing a business, managing staff.
But again, as you said earlier, sorry to cut you off. As you said earlier, you welcome that stress, or you welcome that challenge, you welcome the whatever that is, however that manifests itself, because you know that somehow it's going to pay off in the long run.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe the Monday and Tuesday I'll be very, very stressed out, and Wednesday I'm right in the zone.
Okay.
Last few days have been very, very stressed out. Obviously, Mondays are paydays for me, so at the moment I'm just ticking over with my expanding crew. Obviously, it's a lot of money in wages, and now my role in my company is to manage that. And the boys get paid on a Monday. All right, Tuesday morning comes around. Let's start getting the rest of the money in. How am I going to get it? Where am I going to get this from? You know,
you're losing sleep over that. Is that tough?
yeah, a fair bit of sleep. Yeah, the stress gets to me a lot. Wake up maybe 4 times a night. But I'm also, as you would know, Dan, I'm very work orientated and I never switch off. It's my personality. Could be 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning and I would love to have a 2-hour chat about work.
Yep.
That's just the type of person that I am.
Yep. And that shines through. And I think that's it's a common and it's a positive, strong trait. It's you've got the ability to switch on and switch off, but you choose at the moment, particularly where you're at, to switch on often, which is admirable. You so the flip side of that previous question, and I tend to ask this for the guys that I've caught up with before. What's something you've got wrong? What's a disaster? What's a you can just pick one if you've got.
Pick one. There's hundreds of things I've done wrong. I've made every mistake under the sun. Look, I would, if you're going to start a business, especially in the trade industry, I would have your terms through your invoicing app and take deposits. Don't be afraid to take deposits.
Okay.
Cash flow is king.
Okay.
I still don't have it under control, and I've been doing it for 3.5 years pretty solidly now. Never had a quiet day or a quiet week. Cash flow is king. Don't be worried to ask about deposits.
Okay. So that's potentially a mistake that you've made, or that some could make, that that you've taken on jobs on trust a little bit.
Yep.
And been burnt.
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Well, okay. All right. So that's a good learning for you in terms of putting systems in place and having the balls to say no to some things unless they meet particular terms.
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, a bad job is worse than no job.
Yeah. Exactly right. And in saying that, a bad job worse than no job, it's also okay to explain to a builder or a client who you're working for. Let's just say you're overbooked. 2 people won't let you cancel. You're going to have to make that choice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take both the jobs on, work till 9 o'clock at night and 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, like I have, and screw both the jobs up.
Yeah. Do one well rather than 2 poorly.
Exactly right. Okay. Take your time, do one well. I made the mistake of, taking on too much work as we do, because you just see the dollar signs and it can ruin your reputation with the click of a finger. That's not what we're about anymore, my company. We're all about taking our time. I don't get angry at my staff for tiling too slow or anything like that. Let's just do it properly and not pull tiles off walls. And that's the way that it is. We try and leave a job immaculate. Again, because I've made those mistakes. I've rushed. I've done, excuse my language, dog crap work. And
paid the price. Yeah.
Paid the price.
Yeah. Okay. So it's all about quality. It's all about, so what the work that you're doing now is investing in the work that you're getting in the future. It's,
correct.
You've got to that point on your journey and you're still early days, but congratulations on where you are so far. You've done great. So the work that you're doing is giving you more confidence and giving your clients more confidence that you're the man for the job in the future.
Yeah.
And it's all backing up your plan and your gut feeling that this is going to work out.
Yeah. As you can tell, just with the Instagram, I'm very big on materials. It's not just about putting tiles on the wall anymore. To me, it's about relationships with clients, product suppliers, tile suppliers, just so everyone has the same confidence that I do, that we can warrant the jobs as well. It's not just about doing a good job. It's about the quality. It's about warranting the job.
Yeah.
It's about people getting to know who we really are, which I feel strongly they can. When they look at my Instagram, I feel I'm different to a fair few trades here on the coast.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more face-to-face, hands-on, talking with builders in videos, things like that, just so you get to know me before you hire me for a job.
Yep. Yeah, I can, and I've seen that on the stuff that you post, and again on your Instagram last night when I had a look.
Yeah.
It's
It's
it's good to see. It's good to see you doing things a little different and recognizing that you probably need to. Things are changing quite a lot in the world of personal branding, in the world of technology and AI. The are you are you? It's interesting. The trades, I think, feel a little protected from AI, um, which is there's certainly reason to believe that. Do you do you use any technology in your equipment and things at the moment, or is it still
uh,
relatively old school from a fundamental uh, operation?
at the moment, until they bring machines in to build blocks for houses and stuff like that, all the stuff you see on the internet, we're good. You're not gonna Nothing's gonna get taken from
Yeah,
AI.
I think you're right. It's going to be it's a long way off before a robot can come in and do
Yeah.
a tiling job like a human can.
In saying that though, like chat GPT, like you said before, amazing for someone starting a business. I use it a little bit now. Terms and conditions,
Mm,
great. Legal documents,
mm.
great. It's excellent for things like that, and it can really help young tradies that, you know,
Yeah, it's a good
we
point.
have the name of being book smart, but it can help so many people write their terms, kick their business off, and give them that extra push that they might need because they don't know how to do something, because they don't know how to write a contract, and this is too hard, and I'm just going to go back to work for someone else. Like, all of that stuff is very tricky.
Yep.
So I guess ChatGPT and AI help extremely with that nowadays.
Big time. Yeah, that's a very good point. Actually, even though the AI won't necessarily take over the physical side of it, it will certainly contribute to in a positive way if you choose to the operations behind the scenes,
Yeah,
the even
exactly
the
right.
bookkeeping, the book management, the bookkeeping strategies, marketing, advertising, all that sort of stuff
Yeah.
that is managed, that is digital. It could certainly help that way, particularly with new people starting up. So it's a good tip. It's a good point. What do you see? What do you see as the future for GC Superior Tiling in terms of the work? Are you focusing on doing the same sort of work and just more of it, or are you see yourself branching out? Do you see yourself doing anything different?
Uh, I'm still trying to get my feet in that aspect of things. Not so much different. We just want to reassure people that we do things to the highest quality and we're confident in our work. The tiling is the easy part. It's all the stuff behind the scenes that is the hard part, as you'd know.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think a team of 10's pretty fair.
That's your goal.
Quite amazing
Yeah.
accomplishment. It's a
Absolutely.
massive turnover. Uh, I don't really want to get too much bigger than that. But yeah, I think I'm on my way there.
Yeah.
Team
You
of
certainly
10,
are. Yeah. Okay.
halfway there almost. Yeah, I think it's going to happen.
How's family life with work in terms of people always talk about balance. I don't know whether there's a balance, but
It's definitely
I as well as you having a young human in your life is a complete a change of things, compared to the way they were, and certainly a change in available resources that you would otherwise put into the business,
yeah.
by choice or not. How's that been for you in terms of energy and focus in the business?
It does take your focus away a little bit of a night time. Obviously, you know, get home from work at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's straight into dinner, bath,
The crazy time.
bedtime, and 2 nights a week I'll fall asleep when I put her to bed at 7:30.
Yeah.
Lovely, crazy 2-year-old that I have.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's hard for me because I don't switch off, and my phone is always going off, something work related, whether it be a builder, whether it be a mate, whether it be advice for a job, product inquiry. It's always something.
Yeah.
Father's Day was quite nice, but at the end of the day, Father's Day is on a Sunday,
Yep.
and we've got jobs on a Monday. So I'm still texting boys, organising in my head day to day. This is what's happening. This is what I need for this job. This
But
is how much.
you manage yourself mentally to compartmentalize, and it's not It's not a bad thing. It's just the way that your life is with business and family at the moment. You're here and
Correct.
then you're there. It's
Yeah.
yeah, great. What else, buddy? What else do you think is useful that you've experienced? Could be useful for people listening that, again, thinking about getting into trade-related job,
Yep.
thinking about, or already in trade-related jobs. That what tips do you have for them? What bits of advice do you have, let's say, for people thinking about getting into a trade-related job?
I think the money will come. That's my best bit of advice.
In terms of jump in, do what you got to do, and it'll come. It's there.
Correct.
Certainly, from an outsider looking in, there's certainly money around in the trade industry.
Yeah. There's a whole heap of it. I don't know where it's coming from, to be honest, but
it's there.
The money these days to pay your staff and the upkeep, like I touched on before, your insurances and your work cover. I mean, for my work cover for 4 blokes, it's over $11,000 a year that I have to pay, and that's not even including myself.
Yeah, right.
So the upkeep and the hourly rate that tradies expect these days, is insanity. You're getting people asking you for $80 an hour, and they don't know how to do their trade properly.
Yeah, well,
because it's the way
that's what it
of
is.
the Gold
That's
Coast
the
at
rate.
the moment.
Yeah. Is that because it's hard to find labour at the moment in the area? So it's
there is
supply
a
and demand.
very big demand, but it's also, for myself as a small business, the EBA health and safety sites, I feel they've contributed a lot to this. They pay their staff stupid money because they're on our health and safety site, which is all good. If you're in there, why wouldn't you? I'd be doing the same thing if I didn't work for myself. They're on ridiculous money, $77 an hour, something like that.
Well, I'd like that.
Yeah, something like $15 side allowance, and then they come and work for a small business like myself. I can't match $77 an hour.
Yep.
And they're, no offense, but they're unqualified, rough tilers because they don't actually have the proper training. They don't do the jobs that we do out here in the residential high-end side of things. They're just
there's money. There's certainly money for someone who wants to do it well and do it right.
Correct.
And that's if someone's got the confidence to, like you, might be working for someone else at the moment.
They would definitely be working for themselves.
They'll be working for themselves, and there's money there to support that if you've got the skills, the determination, and drive.
Yeah,
and as you said earlier, a little bit of help from ChatGPT in terms of the initial structures and setup and corporate structures, etc. So that's good. That's good. What about So what about advice for yourself? The old question: if you could go back in time, to let's say at the end of that 6 months, that first stint you did, where it ended after 6 months when you were running for yourself. If you knew back then what you know now, what would you do different?
I wouldn't have jumped the gun so quick. I wouldn't have. I just would have said slow down. I jumped into things way too fast. Saw the dollar signs. Took on too much. It leads to every problem under the sun. The quality lacks. Your reliability, which still today is a common thing with trades, is reliability, and I struggle with it. Scheduling. People call in sick. People don't show up for work. People have family problems. It's a daily occurrence.
So does that translate, Will, to do you think that you were chasing the sale, starting a business? Is that what that was about?
All I saw was dollar signs, and it wasn't.
It's not about.
I was nowhere near into businesses. There's levels to it again. It's a bit different when you're a one-man band, just going to the tile shop every day, buying materials, as opposed to actually running a proper business. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
So,
and you don't know at the time.
You don't know.
So that's why it's good advice. It's good advice to study up on not only how to be a tiler in this case, but also how to run a business.
Yeah.
Even if it's just you to start with.
Right. Baby steps.
It might be baby steps. It might be, it might be good to, have a spreadsheet that's got wages, that's got cost of goods, that's got that sort of stuff that you would then extrapolate into a full business later on.
Yeah.
Just, initially to have those principles in place, just to help you in the early stages.
Yeah, definitely.
Mate, that's a good chat, and that's really good insight. I sense your where you're at right now on your journey, and it's tough, and so it's important that people hear that. It's important people know that there are tough seasons, and you're taking it in your stride, knowing that there's shinier and sunnier seasons to come.
There will be.
So I'm keen to catch up with you again. When you get closer to that 10 staff size, come back and we'll reflect on this one.
Yeah.
And give some new learnings, because that's that journey from where you are now to where you want to be is a completely new phase of where you're going. So you can tell us all about that.
Beautiful.
Mate, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in. I really do. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
And I just look forward to catching up on the next one.
Beautiful.
Cheers,
Sounds
mate.
good. Thanks,
care.
Dan.
Cheers.